I feel extremely honored and humbled to have this responsibility. India is a tremendously important country in the world. It's the sixth largest economy at some 2.8 trillion US dollars. It's the seventh largest country. It's the second most populous nation, and it is the largest democracy in the world. According to Jeff Bezos of Amazon, the 21st century will not be a Chinese one, but it will be an Indian one. So it is an extremely important country. From a strategic standpoint, India's success and capacity and expertise in science and technology lend itself as a perfect partner for us to build capacity in those areas, specifically in agribusiness and agro processing, enhancing productivity from and route to market for farmers. It also presents an opportunity for us to build capacity in global digital services. To this end, I'm talking about business process outsourcing, knowledge process outsourcing, even legal process outsourcing. And our objective there is to help Jamaica move up the value chain in that regard. Currently, we're focused on the business process outsourcing aspect, but there's tremendous opportunity to move up the value chain. Additionally, there is potential to increase capacity in medicine, in pharmaceuticals and healthcare delivery to our citizens. There's also alternative energy, particularly solar energy. India has made grand strides in this regard and is in fact the headquarters for the International Solar Alliance, of which Jamaica is a part. There's also opportunities in logistics and infrastructure, and of course in this regard we're speaking about the opportunity for investment in our special economic zones. There is education, bolstering STEM schools across Jamaica, as well as tertiary education and graduate programs for Jamaicans. We also find tremendous opportunity in rural development and tourism, and of course the creative economy, film, animation, and music. So all told, India really presents a tremendous opportunity for Jamaica to not only learn and build capacity from them in that regard, but to attract investment in these areas, which is critically important to our national development goals. Jamaica has a significant trade imbalance with most of our trading partners. In the case of India, we import approximately 61 million US dollars in pharmaceuticals, chemicals, whilst we export a mere $279,000, which constitutes rum, pimento, and a little coffee. The truth is that we are focused not on the trade in goods, but the trade in services. And to this end, with the capacity that can be built leveraging Indian advances in technology and science, we can position Jamaica to play a prominent role in a knowledge economy. And so we would move not to promote trade in goods, but to promote trade in services. My father used to say that the best time to plant a tree was 30 years ago, and the next best time is right now. So it is the case with India. India has been on the cards for several years, and we've only just now been able to have the right mix of circumstance to be able to open a mission there. Before heading off on a mission, ambassadors designate are engaged in an intense round of consultations, meeting with key stakeholders in Jamaica. That would be ministers, ministries, agencies, departments of government, with a view to getting a first-hand sense of what their priorities are, what their key objectives are, any issues, what the policy framework is within their sphere of operation, and what they would like to achieve. And so with that, we go armed to the market, that's covering the network on this side, and that spans both public and private sector. It's critical that you get a sense of both and meet as many people as possible. In terms of the Jamaica-India relationship, there are so many touchstone points. We both are lovers of food. We both are lovers of sport, specifically cricket. And our cricketers are of the highest renown in India. I refer specifically to gentlemen like Mr. Chris Gale, and of course the Honorable Usain Bolt, who is renowned all over the world, but especially Chris Gale. And so to that end, and of course both countries are part of the Commonwealth, and I think having all of these commonalities lends to a stronger relationship. Another thing I would also like to point out is that as ambassador, or as ambassadors, we tend to work with our homologous ambassadors on the other side. So it has been very heartening to meet with and see energy and efficiency with which my counterpart, High Commissioner Runsum Masqui, is applying himself here. He is also a new ambassador to Jamaica, and he has been tireless in strengthening the relationship between our two countries. And of course, having that on this end with me on that end and a close relationship, this just bodes well for increased activity, more efficiency in our activations, and overall a greater prospect for really strengthening and building on the work that has come before up to this point. I am married with two sons. They're twins, and they will be coming with me to India. They were in Mexico with me. My boys now speak Spanish fluently, and that warms my heart because they're following in my footsteps in some ways. It is a challenge, however, for your family to pick up and move. However, it's, one of the things I endeavor to do is to make that process as seamless as possible. Certainly, it is very rewarding on one level, but I do recognize the sacrifice in particular that my wife has made, because certainly, she is taking up and leaving her network, her independence, if you will. In some instances, it's not as easy for her to get around. It was not as easy for her to get around Mexico as it was in Jamaica. But these are things that you come to, but you first acknowledge them and you put in place measures to make them as seamless as possible. I derive a great deal of support from my family on missions. I think that that's part of the sustenance for the work ahead. It certainly is challenging. There's a lot of travel, very long days, very long nights. Because of the consular aspect and the exigencies of the job, I really operate a 24-hour day. And then of course now with the time difference, it's even more accentuated. India is 13 hours ahead of Jamaica, so right now it's tomorrow in India.